Getting people scared has become increasingly difficult over the years, especially for those who consume a lot of horror content like me. However, what always terrified me was when they mixed reality with fiction. I'm a huge fan of found footage movies, analog horror, and mockumentaries. So when a mockumentary manga series about Japanese urban legends got announced, I was very excited. But to me, it seemed like that type of concept would work better if it had been done in a live action movie. But God may have just answered my prayers, because with a quick Google search, there actually is a live action movie that the manga is based on. So today, I want to go over this mockumentary before the manga gets translated into English. This is Operation Capture the Slit Mouth Woman.
But if you guys want to see more anime content like this one, then why not go down and hit that subscribe button.
But without further ado, let's get into it. So back in 2012, a mockumentary named Senritsu Kaiki Kowasugi File 1, Operation Capture the Slit Mouth Woman, was released in Japan with no English dub or available outside of Japan. The movie series follows a video production company comprising of a male director named Jin, a woman assistant named Ichikawa, and a cameraman. They hunt down different urban legends, trying to either capture or kill them. File 1 is the beginning of the series, following the director getting footage sent to him of the slit mouth woman. So they call up the two men who sent the footage to investigate the whereabouts of the slit mouth woman. This series follows the found footage type of formula. It reminds me a lot of movies like Grave Encounters and that one Animal Planet TV show Lost Tapes. It's very low budget, but I still found it pretty uncomfortably creepy. It has its moments, and although some people say this is the worst among the 10 movies, it's still worth the watch. The movie is fully available on YouTube and in the description below if you guys want to check it out first, but I'm not waiting years for this series to come out in English, and I doubt you guys would too. So let's just go ahead and dive in. The movie begins with the director and his assistant discussing a tape that was sent to them. The tape shows a tall woman wearing a trench coat and a mask, staring at a wall and muttering gibberish at herself. When she discovers that she's been spotted, she charges straight at them. The men flee, but she manages to hit a shortcut and catch up with them again. But ultimately, they escape at the end. It then cuts to a segment where they explain the urban legend of the slit mouth woman. And this is where I started to get interested, because I completely forgot that this was supposed to be a documentary. The show's low budget means that they don't have an intro, no real special effect, and they only do this type of editing in this part and nowhere else in this movie. Also, the slit mouth woman is an actual urban legend that many Japanese people in the 17th century told. While reading more into the legend, the mockumentary did a good job at adapting the material, with a couple of changes that we'll get into later. So after reviewing the tape, the crew decided to call and interview the two men that recorded the slit mouth woman. They arrive at the location where the footage was shot, and they do a couple of experiments to try to prove the authenticity of the tapes. The first experiment is to compare the height and speed of the woman on the tape to a new recording with Ichikawa and one of the men. Now, I was watching this late at night with a friend, and I'm sorry, but I just couldn't take this part seriously. It was just so funny seeing them do these experiments and then have this one dude go, "Well, if you want me to do it, I was in the track team." The second experiment was just a sped up video of them exploring the area and explaining how impossible it is to find a shortcut during the chase. And it's so funny because Ichikawa just goes, "Oh, there could be a shortcut nearby here." And both the men just go, "Nah, bruh, trust me, it's impossible." I know I meme on it a lot, but I do like that they put in effort in making it look real. But after the experiments, they do interviews with people in the neighborhood, all describing the tall woman with a mask. However, one neighbor recalled a couple of stapled papers on a wall. The papers contain a lot of gibberish and drawings, kind of like the Slender Man pages. The pages are newly written suicide notes that say stuff like "help me" and "all the men are scum." After this, they bribe a homeless man for information, but when the homeless man gets scared, Jin just beats him up and forces him to tell him everything. The homeless man does explain his encounters with the woman and how a bunch of other homeless people have disappeared with many children as well. He wears an amulet made out of burnt human hair to protect them from the bad spirits, which is seen in one of the stapled papers on the wall. Now, this is all original compared to the actual urban legend. The urban legend states that the slit mouth woman asks victims if she thinks she's beautiful. If they respond with no, she will kill them on the spot or wait till they're sleeping to do it. If they say yes, she will reveal the corners of her mouth are slit from ear to ear. Then she will repeat the question. If the individual says no, she will kill them. and if they say yes, she will cut the corners of their mouths in such a way that resembles her own scars. The Slenderman pages and hair amulet are all new concepts made for the documentary, but I think it works really well here. The two men from the beginning of the documentary called Jin, saying that they spotted more of the Slenderman pages in the same neighborhood. While looking around, Ichikawa spotted the slit-mouthed woman, but they chase after her and she disappears. The one thing I'm confused about is what Jin thinks he's gonna do when he reaches her. It's an evil spirit and bro just wants to throw hands with her. 2 days later, they headed out to meet a woman to find out more information about the amulet. The woman's face is blurred out and her voice is replaced with some Alvin and the Chipmunk pitch that gets really annoying at points. I just feel bad for the actress who wanted exposure and her only role is just this movie where she's blurred out for the whole thing. The woman does a ritual to find out more about the amulet, but when the woman doesn't know if she could do it, Jin snaps at her for literally no reason. I'm actually really starting to dislike this dude. Then they ask her for more information on the slit-mouthed woman. While the woman does the ritual, she appears right behind them as they all freak out and get kicked out of the house. They go back to the neighborhood to interview more people. They call one person over, but then they get run over by a car. They rewind the footage and they see that the slit-mouthed woman was shown in the background. Now this is one of the most random scenes in the whole mockumentary. The homeless man that we just saw at the park just got murdered by a car, not even by the slit-mouthed woman herself. The slit-mouthed woman is known for killing people with knives and scissors, but we don't actually see any killings other than that guy getting run over. It's so weird but disappointing. Just another jump scare to really scare the viewers, but it's not really that effective. Instead of scaring me, it just more shocked me. Also, this rewind footage effect they keep doing is not hitting with me. Not only do they do it for such a long time, but it's not that scary. Except this part actually really creeped me out. I will give them credit, when I rewind the footage myself, I found it pretty creepy to see that she was there the whole time without me noticing. They do it a lot whenever the slit-mouthed woman shows up, but me going out of my way to check to see if it was actually there genuinely freaked me out. The next footage is of the two men again, but inside their apartment. For a couple of days late at night, they hear someone banging on their door. So they set up a camera outside and it revealed the slit-mouthed woman knocking on their door. So the video crew decided to wait outside their apartment with night vision cameras trying to capture the woman. Now again, I don't know what they're gonna do if they do encounter her. I mean, she's a literal evil urban legend that is known for making people disappear. But after a couple of nights, the woman finally appeared and Jin honked his horn to get her attention. She popped out revealing her slit mouth and ran away. Jin chases her down with a baseball bat, but she disappears. The movie ends with one of the men disappearing, and inside their apartment building, we see a braided up hair talisman in the center of the living room. The credits roll as the crew leaves the apartment, when inside the closet we see a disfigured version of the slit-mouthed woman with her neck twisted. Now the ending left me wanting more, which to be honest is a good thing, but we don't see what happens to the slit-mouthed woman. So are they still haunted by her? Are they gonna try again? It kind of seemed like they were actually getting close to capturing her. And the other movies don't answer any of these questions, so it pretty much felt like I watched this for no reason. But overall though, this movie was pretty entertaining. I was never bored at points and I looked the other way a lot just because it was low budget. At least they actually tried to make it look good. As a documentary, it felt more like a found footage movie. It's edited like they just grabbed all the footage and compiled them all together after the whole crew just dies. But they didn't die. The crew shows up in all the other sequels, so I don't know why they edited like that. My theory is that they were supposed to die, or at least like leave it ambiguous, but the movie did really good, so when they went to make sequels, they had to bring them back. I wish they showed off more of the slit-mouthed woman actually killing people or doing what she does in those legends. But I do appreciate the effort, and I'm just a sucker for these types of stuff. For all the disappointing big budget horror movies that are coming out lately that aren't scary at all or just have a bad story, I like that even with a low budget, there's still some charm to this series. I wouldn't mind watching the rest of this franchise, especially since we don't even know when the manga series will be translated into English. I'll definitely be looking forward to reviewing the sequels as well. But thank you guys for watching. I've never reviewed a movie before, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see me review the sequels, then just go ahead and comment down below. But I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.